What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome to another Resplendent review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at Niles. Even if you don't have FEH Pass, you could still run these builds on Niles, and this gives me a nice chance to look back at an old unit, go over their builds which they could run right now, and just analyze them in today's metagame.
Let us set our souls ablaze with the wild flames of passion.
Niles is a Gen 1 Colorless Archer, and he has got Niles Bow as his weapon, which gives him -1 special cooldown, and it also has the Shining Bow effect, along with a Flashing Blade weapon refine. And the Resplendent stats can definitely help him quite a bit, because the extra speed can allow him to trigger Flashing Blade easily, and every bit of extra attack is much appreciated on someone like Niles, who has got such low base attack of 25, so bringing this up to 27 is going to be really good. And he also has attack super boon, and with the Resplendent stats, it's easier to select the attack super boon because you have more speed. So plus speed IV previously would be really amazing, and it still is really amazing, but now selecting the attack super boon has become a bit easier because he does get extra speed. His weapon refine is pretty decent and can patch up his weaknesses because it allows him to use stuff like Iceberg and Glacies for damage, and can patch up for his low attack stat. But I don't really like the Shining Bow condition because it's really inconsistent and depends on the enemy stats. And this doesn't really help him that much in the matchups where it really matters, because a lot of the modern tanks with high defense will have pretty balanced bulk as well. Now let's make some comparisons. Arguably the best free-to-play infantry archer that we have got right now in the normal summoning pool is Norn. So comparing to Norn already has the same speed as Niles, has got better attack, better defense, doesn't really have that much resistance, but still has a bit of extra HP. Now if you look at their max investment, Niles could be given more Dragon Flowers, so that could help, definitely, but Norn again is still going to be faster, is going to be having better attack stat, and is pretty much going to be having same bulk, even though you might think she's got 10 less resistance. If you use her with the best bow, which is Spendthrift Bow for her, then she pretty much has effectively 40 resistance, which is not really all that bad, and also has more HP than Niles, and can actually have a consistent damage output with the extra damage from Spendthrift Bow, whereas Niles can get the true damage, which is really helpful, but in many matchups you will not be able to get that. Norn cannot really run like high cooldown specials because of Spendthrift, where Niles can use stuff like Glacies and Iceberg with his Flashing Blade weapon refine. Of course, if you're a big Niles fan, then there is absolutely no reason to not build your favorite characters, but if that's not your reasoning, then there are many reasons you may or may not want to invest into. So he's a very fast unit, he can keep up with the speed creep and still double many of the modern units, which is really amazing, and Flashing Blade weapon refine can allow him to use his high resistance productively by utilizing Iceberg and Glacies, and he can make for a pretty nice mage counter pick unit because of his high resistance. Now there are many reasons why you may not want to invest into Niles. He depends quite a lot on his special for damage output, as he has got lackluster damage output without a special, and his Shining Bow condition can be pretty inconsistent and depends on the enemy's stats. We're just getting so many power creep and very bulky units that at times even Iceberg damage is not going to be enough to take them out, so that can always be a problem with his low base attack. Niles can be a tank against mages, but Norn can tank both physical and magical threats, and along with Spendthrift Bow, she can definitely be a very bulky unit, as I said. Now the thing is that Niles is extremely expensive to invest into and build to his max potential. His optimal builds will require a lot of premium skills, and most importantly, he needs to be at max merges and max Dragon Flowers to be at top of his game, which can be a lot to ask for a lot of players who might not have that many resources to invest into. But at the same time, he's not exactly a character which people will go out of their way to invest into, especially with how premium investment he needs. Niles isn't really a character which can give you a lot of value at budget or low investment, but still, if you just want to use him with the copy that you get from FEH Pass, then you could go with a plus speed IV on a budget Niles, and that can help him with the Flashing Blade weapon refine. And Iceberg goes really well with Niles Bow, and he can trigger that in the desperation range. And Niles is the kind of unit that you want to have max investment to get most out of him. So in that case, you could go with attack speed solo and pair it up with rouse speed defense from Ferdinand and speed rest solo Sacred Seal. So attack speed solo is the only premium skill here, As for his optimal IVs, both plus speed IV and plus attack IV are good, but in my opinion, you could definitely go with plus attack IV with the Resplendent version, especially if you could stack up a lot of speed boosting skills. So I really prefer plus attack IV on Niles because that's a super boon, and it just helps him so much to do more damage outside of his special. If you're serious about investing in Niles, then by far the best Lotsie skill is Time Pulse because it makes Glacies a 2-turn cooldown special which he could trigger in the Desperation range. And Glacies does so much damage, it's absolutely amazing. Many times the damage from Iceberg is not gonna be enough to take out many modern bulky units, but Glacies can patch up that gap and can help you get some really important KOs which Iceberg cannot. So it is really expensive with Time Pulse. Again, he does require expensive skills, but that just goes a long way for his damage output and functionality. You could also run him with attack speed push 4 and desperation, and again, you could have plus attack IV, which is a super boon if you just have speed stacking builds. And whenever we get Swift Impact in future, that's a really good skill for his Slotty because it gives him speed for Flashing Blade and resistance for Glacies damage. So again, Time Pulse is being used, and this could definitely help him quite a bit with extra damage output while also being annoying with the impact effect. Right now we do have Mirror Impact, so that could work as well. He could work with some other bows as well because we have some fantastic inheritable bows. So Spendthrift is pretty much the best inheritable bow right now, and that could help him quite a bit in the mixed phase as it will help him with his defense and also give him extra attack and extra bulk. So that could be run with attack speed push 4 and lull speed defense. Helm Bow can also work from Pirate Bridget because it does have good synergy with the solo skills, so that could work out in giving him the lull speed defense which is built into that weapon. Coral Bow from Joshua can help his allies as well, and it does debuff the speed and defense of the foe, so it could be stacked up with something like lull speed defense. Now it's going to work out decently well in Aether Raid's offense because he is a mage tank after all, and in Aether Raids you're going to be facing a lot of mages. So in Aether Raid's offense, I don't think his special Refine is that good. You don't really need Flashing Blade for anything. In my opinion, you should go for the Speed Refine or the Attack Refine. And because of the -1 special cooldown of his weapon, Glacies becomes a 3-turn special, and with Special Spiral it will end up at 1 cooldown, so you could always retaliate back with Glacies, and that is going to be doing so much damage. It's absolutely ridiculous. It will do 47 damage out of Glacies, which is just absolutely amazing for a unit like him. And he can work out in the Astro season because Thrasier is not doubling him, he is very fast, and he can get extra attack from Regan and Altina with their mythic effects. He could also work in the light season with a Spendthrift bow, and he could run attack speed solo 4 and null follow up. Null follow up is going to be extremely important to take care of Bramimons, and he could also work with a tier 3 stand skill along with lull attack speed, and he could run, Moonbow for his extra damage output. The attack super boon is going to be super useful in Aether Raid's offense to make sure that you can get the kills. And now time for the bonus section where we look at what if the weapon refine was a bit better for the unit. So if I wanted to make Niles bow a bit better, then I would have changed the shining bow condition. Like I said, it is pretty inconsistent, so I would have added something that you could control yourself, and I would pretty much give him the true damage which scales off his resistance similar to the weapon of Gangrel. So this would allow him to get very consistent true damage, and at max investment he does have 43 resistance, which means that he's getting 8 true damage per hit, which is so good and consistent and definitely helps him out with his low attack stat. And if he reaches like 50 resistance, then he's getting 10 true damage per hit, which is just so good. So that's the change I would have made. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Resplendent review. Please be sure to share this video with a friend who is thinking of building up Niles or wants to update their build. And I want to thank all of my YouTube members for their constant support. And if you enjoyed, then please be sure to leave a like and a comment. Helps me tremendously, and be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because I wish YouTube sub boxes also had a Flashing Blade weapon refine. So with that said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.